Hello everyone, welcome back to the Best Start Guide. It is day 96 and they have, well yesterday, they dropped the Eostrid, Oastrid. I don't know. I don't know how it's pronounced. It's probably just Astrid. And I took a look at her kit and I decided she was worth going for. So I'm going to go over her quickly before getting into it. So if we look at Astrid, she's got the whole like Shira Princess of Power meets I don't know, forest dwelling shaman lady, and I love her kit. She has the increased speed in arena battles by 28%. We do have that on Sun Wukong on this account, but this way we don't necessarily need him to do the speed lead in the arena anymore, or the speed aura in the arena. But she'd be great as a speed lead in the arena, and she does like 4 different jobs. Like if you look at her A3, she does increase speed and increase attack on one move. I can't think of anyone in the game who does both of these buffs at the same time. No one. I cannot think of a single person who could do both of these buffs at once on everybody with, particularly with turn meter fill. If you can think of anyone who does this and I'm missing somebody obvious, please let me know because I was racking my brain to find it. I asked my clan. No one in my clan could think of anything. Uh, she is quite unique, and this gives her a free turn. In addition to her getting the increased attack and the increased speed, she gets an additional turn, so she could just boost straight into this, attack all enemies, and if she's fully booked, she can place decreased speed on all of them and weaken. And on this account, we don't have a champion that does weaken on everybody yet. So this is perfect. I've got a weaken. I could pair her with, say, just War Maiden to get the weaken and the decreased defense out on 2 champions, or I could pair her with one other speed champion like Diabolist. And I might even give Astrid the fastest gear that I've got, because look at her speed. It's 115, making her maybe tied for the fastest champion in the game. I don't think anybody's got a speed faster than 115. And I think none of them are speed lead champions. So I think Astrid is completely bonkers. I think she's going to be particularly good on this account. And let me show you why. Well, first of all, we've got this mission that's kind of time gating us for a long time. Upgrade an affinity bonus to level 7. So the only way to do that is by doing lots and lots of arena. So we go to the arena and let's see if I can find some teams that will quickly show you what I mean. I often get cut in on when I try to use speed. I actually recently switched to Aolfrig as my secondary speed champion because I like his kit even better than Gorgorab. We can get into that in a minute. But let's see what happens if we just run this team against this team. So he's outsped me, but you saw my speed lead actually cut in there. And if she could cut in and take control of the fight, then we wouldn't have a problem. We'd be able to just completely blast through that team. If I can find another example where the inverse happens, where I get the drop on them, but then they cut in on me because... yeah, they're cutting in on me before Sun Wukong can go. And yeah, by the time he got an opportunity, he already had decreased attack placed on him. So both of those were inverse examples of what's wrong with my team. And it's largely a gearing issue. I've got Diabolist running at 295 speed. She's the fastest champion on the account. Then I've got Aolfrig. Let's see if I can find him. He's barely built. He's at least a level 4. And you know what? Instead of making you... let's just find this frigging champion. So we've also got him with his... just pardon me a moment. I'm actually running this account on 2 different devices. Not this account, sorry, this game, 2 different accounts, 2 different devices, because of course I got my main account that I'm doing the same events. So Aolfrig, we got him to 236 speed. I'm not sure if he's getting cut in on at this speed, so that may be another thing to look into, trying to get this guy faster as well. But even then, I think the next fastest champion on the team is something like 150 speed. So there's a big gap. So that is where Eostrid would come in, and that's the wrong one. Index. That's where Eostrid would come in because she has the increased speed. So they gain speed at 30% faster. The enemies are getting decreased speed, so they're gaining speed 30% slower. And finally, I'd probably still pair her with Diabolist in the Demon Spawn. So Diabolist is really good for this. There's one champion I can think of who you may have started with who's even better. She fills turn meter by 15%, decreases their turn meter by 15%. And when you compound this with the decreased speed on them and the increased speed on you, it dramatically decreases the requirement for speed for your nukers. And that's what's important. If you were smart and you went with Deacon Armstrong instead of Sun Wukong, or the other guy that people like to pick, who was it? People also like to pick Mordecai because he's really good at Spider. But if you went with Deacon, Deacon's even better. He's also got the free turn, so he gets the turn meter manipulation, the 15% going both ways, and then he's got the decreased defense. So if you had Deacon Armstrong and Eostrid, you'd have both of the important debuffs. You'd have the decreased defense, you'd have the weaken, you'd have all the turn meter manipulation that you need in these two champions, and that leaves you room for two nukers. You don't even have to account for anything else. You got the increased attack, you got the increased speed, you got the decreased defense, you got the weaken. So I absolutely love this champion and I want to go for her. And so in this video, we're probably going to end with a nice bunch of shard pulls. I thought there was supposed to be a another event in addition. Maybe I'm mistaken. Drop fever events. And that's not it. But there's a 2 summoning events. So we got double chance on the ancient shards. And then we have an increased chance of finding... That's on April 5th. 15x chance. Why isn't that showing up in the game? Maybe I'm going to have to do it at a later time. I may have to break this video up and do that. So we'll start with what I am doing. So I waited until like the last possible minute. We're like 25 seconds out. But basically, I was waiting for Dungeon Divers to start, so I could see what the damage was in terms of how hard I have to hit it, 3,700. Okay. And this account can pretty much do level 16 of every dungeon with the exception of Spider, where we're kind of doing double duty anyway. So see, 3, 2, yeah, let's use it. So this is the Fire Knight team that I'm running at this point. And I actually often don't watch how the team runs, but we're running Neldor. He's probably the weakest link in the team. I could probably stand to 5-star him at this point, but I just haven't yet. Haven't got around to him. It is very difficult to make a 6-star. It's difficult even to make a 5-star, honestly, because you're constantly trying to make the 5-star food so that you're ready to make your 6-star. And next on the list might be Tagore, and it might be my other main reviver. You know, the barbarian, Jamarsa. There you go. There's her name. So it's a question of whether I want to run Jamarsa or Tagore. Jamarsa's tougher than Tagore, but Tagore is faster. You can see, like, he can put increased speed on the whole team. I've also got Apothecary putting increased speed on the whole team, and I've also got Xeno putting speed on the whole team. So we've got tons of champions that can do the increased speed. Xeno's got the multi-strike, that's why she's on the team. Kale has his Quadra Strike, which he'll use as much as possible, and Apothecary, of course, has a triple hitter on his A1. If you're lucky and you pull a Cold Heart, obviously Cold Heart is completely amazing against the Fire Knight. So I'm going to try to go for Eostrid. There are 110 fragments on the table. So you need to get 100 fragments to collect the champion. So you can miss at most 10. There are going to be 2 summoning events, and that's probably going to be the hardest thing for this account to achieve. If you have tons of shards saved up, good for you. That's probably going to be the easiest thing. You can probably just ditch the annoying-ass Dungeon Divers event, or you can probably avoid one of the artifact enhancement events. But you can only skip 10 unless you happen to win a tournament. But that is a tall order. I don't know how often I ever win tournaments in this game at all when there are fragments on the table. I don't think it really ever happens. I think it used to happen when they offered fragments in the arena tournaments, but they don't seem to do that anymore. Now they're just fewer overall, which is rough. So, my advice, plan to not win any tournaments, plan for 100 fragments. You could even plan for the whole 110 if you wanted a couple extra ones to go for that that champion that you can exchange fragments for, although it's a terrible deal. I have no idea why Plarium did it that way. It's so awful. I don't think even the biggest whale is going to be able to get that champion. And even if they can, they're not going to want her because she's not good enough. I don't even remember her name anymore. She's just another one of those irrelevant champions. Nobody's going to go for her because it's cost prohibitive. It's ridiculous. Anyway, we're almost through the Fire Knight. So basically, I'm just going to run this on auto until it completes this tournament, the tournament milestone for Fire Knight. And even then, I might just keep hitting the Fire Knight because, you know, I love the regen gear. Regen gear is pretty much perfect for any reviver. So I've got regen gear on my Tagore. I've got it on my Jamarsa. There are some other units I have it on too who aren't necessarily exclusive revivers. No regen this time, of course, but I'm pretty happy with this level. 16 is actually the best bang for your buck when you're trying to complete Dungeon Divers as well. So it works out reasonably well. Although I would love to be able to push to level 20 at some point. But basically, I don't want to pull these yet because I think there's going to be a 10x coming that allows me to pull for an epic that I've really wanted for a long time. So this starts April 5th at 8 UTC. I guess that's in a couple hours, I think. I'm not sure. And we've got Frygun Isbale. This is an epic I'd love to have. She's maybe the best epic bomber, or maybe one of the 2 best epic bombers in the game. So she'd be a fun one to try to pull for. As well as Newt. Newt would be amazing. So basically, if we happen to pull a legendary, I would want Newt. Newt, I mean, man, let me show you why you want Newt. Just in case, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm sure pretty much everybody watching has heard of Newt. He's basically the king of damage. And why do I keep clicking on that? He's basically the king of damage against any boss. He's better than even Acrizia, who is in fact another bonkers dwarf. But he's got a triple hitter on his A3. Blessed Bash. Attack an enemy 3 times. It's based on enemy max HP. He's a defense-based champion. He decreases the defense of the target. This is kind of synonymous with the blessing that gives you defense damage. He just does it with the move. And he replenishes his own health with it. So you can basically solo with this guy. He's got an AoE. He's got the counter attack. He's got the weaken. He's got the decrease attack. And the thing is, I'm sure I'm going to go over this again when I do the shard pull video. So I don't know. Stay tuned for that. I was kind of hoping to get those both done at once. But really, I guess the only thing I'm doing with this video is talking about my fusion plan, or the fragment plan. It's not a fusion. I'm not doing any fusions, not on this account. Those get really crazy. Like you need tons and tons of potions to be able to do fusions, and I am severely lacking on them. I just recently got this account capable of pushing to level 20 of all of the potion dungeons. I think last night I just got to stage 20 here, and the night before I got to stage 20, I guess it was in the Spirit Keep. It's important to be able to get to stage 20 of those because that's the way you have your best chance of getting the top level potion, which is going to allow you to ascend all those epics and legendaries that you want to build. So I think that's about all I said. Oh, you know what? You know what? Let's do the clan boss. Also, this way I get to see the fruits of my labor. No shard. That's too bad. But let's see if this is a 1-key day or a 2-key day. I keep tweaking my champions by a little bit. Oh, it's a 2-key day. We fell just shy of it again. Watch it overshoot this time. Yep. Why couldn't you just overshoot the first time? Save me a key. Do me a solid. But anyway, we're not actually taking down Brutal yet on this in this clan, on this account's clan. So that's something that we could work on as a clan. Any other clan members out there, or anybody want to join a clan? I think we got room. I can check in a moment. It looks like I'm not really getting that lucky when it comes to shards. Nope, no shards. No new shards. But we got 42. Oh, we did get a shard then. We got 43 now. So we got 43 shards. How many in the clan? The clan's full. Is there anybody I could kick out? Stallbrand has been gone for 5 days. Zaddy Hitch has been gone for 9. Lucisul has been gone for 8. You know what? It doesn't look like they're coming back. Let's go ahead and kick these 2 out. Anybody want to join my clan? The code is BTPJ. You can look it up. If you're a fresh new player and you play every day, this is a good clan to be in. If you happen to be one of the 2 I just kicked out, you are welcome to get in touch and reapply. I'm just trying to keep everything fresh for the sake of everybody else who's in the clan. Stallbrand has been with us for a while. I'm going to give him a chance to come back. I should check in. So anyway, I mean, I think that's about it. Basically, the goal is to go for Eostrid, Eostrid, Westrid? I don't know. How's her name pronounced? Does anybody have a definitive answer there either? But anyway, I mean, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for stopping by. I'll see you on the next video, which might be tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see what happens with the summons, because I'm gonna want to do this on camera at some point, so that we can see what we have to work with on the account. Would love a fry gun. In fact, you know what? Let's even though I'm probably gonna go over this again anyway. This is another dwarf. Dwarves, what a great faction. So I'm going to be asking for dwarves basically. But I love her whole kit. She's got the bombs. She has weaken. Come to think of it, she has weaken on all enemies, which I would also have wanted. But now that I'm going for Eostrid, maybe we need that a bit less. Although there's good synergy here, because if you can put bombs on all your enemies, decreased defense doesn't matter because bombs ignore defense, but they don't ignore weaken. So that's a good thing to bear in mind when you're trying to build a bomb team. This account has no bombers on it. Or did I get Grunch Killjoy? Now I'm trying to remember. It's possible. Yeah, okay, I got Grunch Killjoy. I think he technically has bombs. He's not a particularly good bomber, but I don't know. If I get Frygun, I might even try to get her and this guy onto a bomb team. We'll see. But anyway, till next time, thanks for stopping by. Take care of yourselves.